What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net. It's been a while. I feel like it has been a while. Been working on getting so many cars ready. I'm going to have a nice lineup for you coming up in the next couple weeks, 2 weeks. Plenty of great cars. We're going to start that lineup off, though, with a little bit of something of a little different flavor. And this is what I call a fire sale. Let's get into this 2014 Ford Escape Titanium all-wheel drive. It's a one-owner car, 37,000 miles. Has a little bit of a checkered history, though, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. And here she is, a beautiful 2014 Ford Escape Titanium. It's an all-wheel drive little SUV crossover. I know I'm already going to get comments. Oh, that little Econo box, that little throwaway car that's in your shop. Every now and again, I stumble upon, an oddball, low-mileage car. I get little Honda Civics with no miles and, just weird cars that I don't normally get. I say weird cars. This is basically your streamline, used car dealership type of used vehicle. But every now and again, I get something like this in with low mileage, one owner, and I get them from estates or whatever. This one came from a different source. This car is actually a total loss vehicle, now with a rebuilt or branded reconstructed title. So it was salvaged, but this car was salvaged for a crazy reason that some people would have a hard time believing. But I, as the buyer of it, and I have bought cars like this in the past before, this car was in a garage. Its original owner's garage, not too far from my shop here. I actually went by their house. This car was in their garage when they had a small garage fire that filled the garage with smoke or whatever, and they totaled this car. It was in the garage with the garage door open. It was in the garage, and I don't know what caught on fire, but something caught on fire in the garage, causing this car to be totaled for fire damage. Now, when I bought this car, what intrigued me was there was no damage or no visible damage that I could see in the pictures. I bought this from a local salvage auction, and I saw it as a one-owner car, 35,000 miles when I bought it. Nice little SUV. Everybody's looking for a car like this for their kid. I said, you know what, let me take a look at that thing and see what it's all about. Now, I have some experience in buying a car like this because my mother's Lincoln, she has a 2013 Lincoln MKX, that we bought. It's a 13. I think we bought it probably around 16, 17. Had about 30,000 miles in the same case. It was actually at a repair shop, at a dealership, getting a repair done. And there was a car in the dealership service area that caught on fire, and they totaled all the cars that were in there for potential smoke damage. So this car, I was able to do some research. I found out where the car was from, really well serviced. And I said to myself, okay, I got to take a swing at this because I have tons of customers who say, hey, geez, I'm looking for a car for my kid. I don't want to spend a ton of money. This is a great way to do that. So when I tell you this car had minimal damage, the only part that I had to replace on this car due to any kind of fire damage or the damage that it was totaled from is the third brake light. This is a new third brake light, Ford third brake light. And I know you're not going to believe me. You're going to say, oh, he's a used car dealer. Let me bring you into the clip of when I bought this car. All right, I'll give you a quick sneak peek at the Ford Escape just as I drove it here from the auction with the supposed fire damage. The only thing I could really notice was on the back here, this third brake light is a little melted. I'm gonna order a new brake light, but the windshield wiper, it's just kind of covered in soot. Being in the garage, let's see what we can do to clean it up. Yeah, it's just like soot. I don't know, garage soot. Yeah, that's all it is, but it stops at the gasket. You can see here, nice and clean in there. Roof racks are all in nice shape. They're not all melted or anything. These might have a little bit of distortion to them. Not sure, or maybe they're supposed to be like that. Really don't see any melted parts. A few light scratches. See if we can polish those. Headlights, bumper. You can kind of see it here. A little bit of soot. Body, just soot. Seems like there's more soot on the back, so I'm gonna say, excuse me, get the hiccups. Anyways, that's the Ford Escape. So, let's see what she'll look like when she's all cleaned up. Now, obviously, I've cleaned it up. I've detailed it. We've done a really nice polish on this car. Brought this beauty back to life. And you know what? It's just a liability of the insurance company that they said, you know what? We're not going to take any chances. We're going to send this to salvage auction. And that's a great way to get a car, you know, for a fraction of the price of what, you know, a clean title will be. You know what? My mother's had her Lincoln. She put about 90,000 miles on that, trouble-free. It's been a great car. In fact, I'm looking for another car for similar scenario because my dad saved so much money on that car. Her last two vehicles were actually previous salvage cars. Both my sisters drive previous salvage cars. You know what? I don't do salvage cars often, but it is a great opportunity to get yourself into, you know, a nice little car like this. Now, I wouldn't do something that was crashed or wrapped around a tree or burned out. But this car was literally in a garage. Garage door was open. And I even went by the people's house. And you could see the minimal damage of their garage. They went out and bought a brand new 2022, or actually it was a leftover 22, Ford Escape to replace this one. They loved it so much. Anyways, we'll get into this car. I wanted to get that kind of off the table. I know I kind of rambled on, but so this, full disclosure, this is now a rebuilt title, titleable and registerable in every state. So if you're near, far, not a problem. I have a New Hampshire reconstructed, rebuilt title. It's branded. It'll be branded for life. In my dealership name, it's already gone through 2 state inspections. You can see the safety inspection on the windshield, and then went through a salvage inspection through the state police. So this car is ready to go, titleable in every state in the country. Anyways, let's get into a little bit of the detail walk around. It's a beautiful reddish orange kind of tint on this car, this Escape. Really nice shape all the way around. I myself have put 2,000 miles on this car. You know what? You'd say, Anthony, why would you want to drive something like that? It's actually sometimes refreshing to drive something other than a town car or a, you know, an old brougham daily or my rusty old Escalade. And this car having Bluetooth and Bluetooth stereo and factory remote start and all those little nice features that you get used to as they become standard equipment in cars, it was nice. And it was also nice to get like 20 miles to the gallon bopping around. Where my Escalade gets like 12. So I put 2,000 miles on it. This has been a great car. Papa Bear and I just serviced it. We went through it. I'll tell you all about that. But I want to give you just a nice little overview of the car. Beautiful paint shining on it. Has some very, very minor imperfections. Like this chrome plate here. You can see it's got some discoloration to it. I'm thinking that was probably from the heat or something to do with the fire. But literally, I mean, tail lights, everything, they're in beautiful shape. The emblems, the bumper fascia, there's no melting or anything like that. That rear brake light had just a little bit of melting, and I don't know if it was a softer plastic or what would cause that. But I have done nothing else to this car other than clean it and replace wiper blades all through the service. Didn't need a wiper blade. It wasn't melted, just the blade. But yeah, this is what I replaced here. But yeah, it's, you know, it's got a couple little minor bumps and bruises, but I don't think a lot of them. Like you can see a little scratch right there. Did put new tires on it, new rear pads and rotors. It's got factory mud flaps. Sorry, I forgot my pointer. This isn't a typical car I do, and I don't know, my mind's turned to mush. A little bit of a chip in the door there. Just a little bit of dust. And this thing is pretty nice. It's got the keyless entry. Push the button, you can see them all light up there. Paint on it, it's in good shape. A little bit of a nick right there. Windshield in great shape. I think the only option this thing, and I'm not overly familiar with the options, but it does not have a sunroof. And the titanium is the high trim package on these. So I'm actually kind of surprised it must not have been ordered with one or optioned with one. But this was your typical little old lady's car. One owner car, 35,000 miles. At 10 years old, that's phenomenal miles for a car like this. A little bit of a, let me see if I can focus. Chip on the hood there, one right there. But nice gloss to the paint. All right, we're gonna spin it around, show you the passenger side so you can get a look at that side as well. All right, now bringing you over here on the passenger side, you can see just as nice as the driver's side. You know, clean, garage kept, low miles. I get it. This car isn't for all my, probably most of my followers and subscribers, but I do get a lot of people who call me and say, hey, I love your town cars, or I bought a town car, whatever. I've sold cars to their kids. And this is a perfect car for that. A second car, a third car, like I said before. Whatever you might feel the need for something like this. You know, this little Ford Escape. Great in snow, all-wheel drive. It's got Ford's intelligent all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. Again, not overly familiar with the layout of these cars, but what we got here? Louisville assembly plant. Ford sound screen, windshield, the roof racks, all in great shape. All the glass is in great shape. It does have the rear parking sensors, factory tow hitch, dual exhaust. Pretty neat, just like my wife's Lincoln Navigator. It has the capless easy fuel. Like it or not, it's pretty neat. Seals up. I've never had any problems with her car. It's the first one I've ever had with that. Nice alloy wheels. I believe these are, yeah, 18-inch alloy wheels. Papa Bear and I, like I said, we went through and serviced this one. Did brand new pads, rotors in the rear, 4 new tires. Pretty clean throughout here. Nope, not a chip, just a piece of dust. Color kind of looks like almost like a burnt orange, reddish, like a crimson, I don't know, orange. I don't even know what the actual name of this color is. It's different. That is what it definitely is. It's different. Little bitty guy right there on the hood. I believe there was one. Yeah, a little guy right there on the bumper. And then down here and here. Has fog lights. Looks like a little maybe chip in the hood there. But overall, a great, inexpensive, all-wheel drive Ford Escape. It is what it is. I can't go on too much about these because I'm not as crazy passionate as I am with, you know, all my cars and my Lincolns. But I can appreciate a nice one-owner car, and I felt that this thing needs saving, and somebody would appreciate it and get lots of great life out of it. So anyways, now let's dive on to the inside. Show the inside, we'll pop the hood and tell you all the rest of it, and we'll wrap the video up. Now getting on to the inside of the Escape here, you can see it's got a nice nice ambient lighting. You can see the little red lights under there, some lighting behind the foot pedals and on the down on your feet. These Fords have a real cool ambient lighting, like my wife's Lincoln does. But real clean inside. It's got memory seats, 3-seat function memory seats, power windows, obviously adjustable mirrors, power driver seat, forward, back. You have your recline, you have lumbar. You have a little tray here to put, I don't know what you'd put there. Side airbags. Does have a little bit of wear on the driver's seat here. You can see some very minor cracking in the leather or pleather. I don't know what Ford really calls this. Does have a leather wrapped wheel. Automatic headlights, fog lights, sync, you know, all that great stuff, which is what I kind of liked driving around in because it was just a little change of pace. You can see the sync by Microsoft there. Sony sound system, dual zone climate control, heated seats, all that good stuff. Even the cup holders have a nice little light that lights up. Real clean throughout though, and no smell of smoke in this car. You know, that's one thing that I went and I looked at this car before it went up for sale because I just didn't understand why it was for sale. And when I saw it, I'm like, wow, this is so minor, but I can understand. Most insurance companies don't want to take the liability. You know, should something come down the pike that the customer complains about, you know, how do you compensate for something like that? So it's just easier to write it off as a total loss. But this thing is absolutely very, very clean. The back here, you have all the factory floor mats, little map pockets. I don't know what's going on here. We got a plug or something. Oh yeah, that's a 110 volt plug. That's kind of cool. Little ambient lighting back there. All LEDs throughout here. I think these seats fold down. That probably, yeah. Seats fold down, which is great. You know, if you gotta plop something back there, taking one of the kids back to college. You know, and that's what this car would be great for. Is if you need, I'm looking for a commuter car, a second car, a third car for your kid, to drive back and forth to school in. You know, you want to get them something modern, comfortable, that has tech, but at the same time, you don't want to spend a mint. This is a great vehicle. Has a power tailgate. I didn't even know what's under here. Oh, yeah, spare tire. Have some other little things there, probably a jack. Yep, underneath there. But real clean throughout. Push that gate down. There's the power gate. One more time while we're back here, I'll show you. This also works on the power key fob. You can see here, nice rear seat space. And like I showed you before, those seats do fold down. So you can squeeze a little bit more stuff in there. Twice, just like the town cars. Closes down nicely. And I think I also have a remote start. I'll show you how that works on here as well in just a minute. I love the ambient lighting that they put in these. I think it's kind of a common thing for most of the Ford products at this point. Has the child seat anchors, which is fantastic. Believe me, when you have a kid, that's one of those things that you start to really appreciate. Little tweeter speakers in the door. All inside the door jambs, nice and clean. It also has a keyless touch, one touch. Now I went ahead and locked it. There we go. Unlock it. with your key on your persons. I think that's the proper way of saying that. Another little mysterious tray for whatever you want to put in there. But all inside the jams here, nice and clean. It's a nice little SUV. Oh, they got a tray for the passenger too. Nice large dash, kind of a cockpit style. Your glove box. All the books, I'll show you that stuff in just a minute. Nice leather here, or pleather, or leather, or I don't even know. It feels like leather. It's got to be leather. Usually the sides are vinyl, yeah. So it must be like leather seating surfaces. Little 12-volt charger there. I'd say that's a wrap on the inside. Let's jump behind the wheel. All right, I did check. It is a 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbo. I got 2 key fobs, original Ford key fobs. It even has this little tag on here that kind of tells you how to remote start it. So start, you got a lock, and then remote start twice. Have the original books, and it even comes with, I assume this is a Ford wipe for the screen. Thought that was kind of neat, but all the books and pamphlets and stuff like that. Obviously a loved one-owner car. This does have the push button start. Mileage is 37,000. Whoa, turn that off. 37,563. You can see it's already starting to try to connect with my phone, so I'm probably gonna lose the audio. Shut my Bluetooth off there. But you have your dual zone climate control, all your steering wheel controls for your sound system. It also goes through, you know, your trip information, settings. You can change all types of things. Let's see if we can get fuel economy. 19.4, and that was after detailing and letting it run. Just great car on gas, just great driving, lock, unlock. Cruise control, automatic headlights, like I said, fog lights. I do like these heated seats where they have a thumb wheel, so the heated seats will stay on. You know, automatic. It's got the buttons, got a rear trunk or hatch popper. Garage link. Can change all the ambient lighting in here. Little cubby there. And even in here, I think there's USB ports. Stuff like that. I don't know what any of that stuff does, but it's there. You know, one of the neat things with having a car this size, got the backup sensors, the backup alarm, navigation. This thing is all loaded up. Like I said, titanium. One of the cool things is I can do a 3-point turn very easily in my shop, which, turn that wheel straight, I can't do in most of my cars. Pop the hood while we're here. Try not to ramble on too much about this one, but I want to show it for what it is. Whew. You can see here, nice and clean under the hood as well. Eco Boost. This is a 6-cylinder, I think a 2-liter. Maybe it's a 4-cylinder. You know what? I think it's a 2-liter Eco Boost. So there you have it, folks. That is the 2014 Ford Escape Titanium, 37,000 miles, one-owner car. Look at that picture. Cadillac and a Ford Escape. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap up the video here. 978-930-1004 is my phone number. You know the number by now. Any questions about this Ford Escape? I'll be as transparent as I can, like I have been throughout this whole video. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. You know, this car is a great car for anybody to use for whatever reason. Commuting, Kid going to college, school, whatever, first car, safe vehicle. I'd put my daughter in it if she was old enough to drive. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Oh, don't want to forget the price of this car. Price of this one's going to be $10,995. I kind of comped that off of what others are selling for with a clean title. Locally to me, they're anywhere between 16 and 18,000 with that 40 to 55, 60,000 mile range in a titanium, similar year. So we're thousands and thousands of dollars behind what the market will bear for this. Even Carfax throws a number on there based off of its history and its salvage history. And even Carfax declares it about $15,000 in value. It's hard to put a value on a salvage vehicle or a rebuilt, reconstructed vehicle. Ultimately, it's up to you on what you're willing to pay. But that's what we're asking here, 978-930-1004. I promise I have tons of cars coming up. We've been working hard here, Papa Bear and I, getting into the new year. So stay tuned. We've got lots of good stuff coming up. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll talk to you on the next one.